Hey guys, it is Mike from Baltimore Rides here. Monday, January 22nd. Let me get a cough drop in my mouth because I am still fighting this scratchy throat. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm kind of a mess lately. You guys must either get a good laugh out of this or just feel so sorry for me, but my shit's just all jacked up lately. Pardon my language. Okay, but it's Monday night, the 22nd. It's about 8:15 p.m. And I want to let you know kind of what's going on because there's some craziness in the Uber Lyft world for Mike. So, I got on the road real early this morning. The irony of this cough and cold thing that I'm fighting is that I really can't lay down and sleep because the minute I laid my head on the pillow, I start hacking my lungs up. So about 4:30 a.m., I said, screw it. Changed, freshened up, hit the road. I was in my car by 5 a.m. Got a ride, a long trip. Well, I wouldn't say it's a long trip, but a $23 fare from up in the Carroll County area where I live. And on Uber, believe it or not, of all things. And then, that put me kind of right near the 6 a.m. mark by the time I got him where he was going. And then from 6 to 9:30 a.m., I just grinded with Lyft. Now, I've done 21 trips today, and I've done 9 primetime trips, whatever that whole peak hours trips, that's what they're called, which is the one I've been chasing for this weird bonus. So at about 9 a.m., I actually got off the road. I took a nap for a couple hours. And about 2 o'clock, I got back on the road. And I've been working ever since. So today, let's call it 8 p.m. Mostly with Lyft. I did not do a single Uber ride after that. But my numbers are about $120 with Lyft. The $23 with Uber, so almost $150. I did get some cash tips today. I got about $10 in cash tips, so that takes me to $150. And here's the really interesting part. Yesterday, what do I get in my text messages? Boost and Quest in DC from Uber. So either one of two things happened. Either some dumbass at Uber's corporate office finally read one of the ridiculous messages that I sent, many, and turned the button back on, or the system just figured out that Mike's been driving in DC and not doing a lot of trips, so let's give him some incentives to kind of get him to do more. So there you have it, folks. It's not a great quest, and the boost numbers are, kind of what they always are. Rush hour, Friday, Saturday night. But it's just interesting that they turned Quest back on for me. So what that means is this. And because I'm kind of like financially chasing my tail right now, just trying to get caught up on bills and kind of get back to a spot where I'm comfortable, which I haven't really been for a few months financially with all the nonsense in my world. It means I can do two things. I can do what I did today, work a morning, take a break, work an afternoon, let's call it early evening rush hour with Lyft. And that was 8 hours or 9 hours of app time for Lyft. So I'm not even at my 14-hour shut-off time. But then, if I want to come back out in the evening, which I actually am going to do, I'm going home to freshen up and say hi to the kitties and whatnot. I can also, I just took the wrong damn exit. Typical, not paying attention. I can also go back out on the road with my Uber app on once I'm done chasing the peak hour thing, and I can chase some Uber trips. Now, obviously, Quest isn't going to do me any good unless I'm in DC, and I've been driving in Baltimore all day today. So that's not going to be productive. I'm not going to drive all the way to DC at 9 o'clock at night, but I could do a couple airport trips to start that quest number out, or I could just turn the Uber app on and grind a little bit and make some extra money through the Uber app. Now, the trick here is I don't want Uber to think I'm driving in Baltimore again and get all confused, because they're not the sharpest tools in the shed, and that could definitely happen. So I'm not going to work Uber too much outside of DC anymore. Only every now and then, just a little bit here, a little bit there, because I don't want to confuse them. If they finally got their shit in gear, I don't want to be the one to throw the monkey wrench in it and start this whole nonsense all over again, because it's been a month. It's been officially a month now without Booster Quest. So that's that. So that's the interesting little tidbit of news there, is that Uber finally figured out whatever they were doing was wrong, and finally it caught up. Lyft, I had a very good, productive day. 21 trips on a Monday with roughly 10 trips. I think it's 9, but I haven't looked at the dashboard since I turned the camera on. But 9 of those peak hour trips in one day. That's huge. Now, if I can do that kind of Monday through Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday grind in DC, and just get the weekend quest with Uber, plus whatever, round out whatever other little odds and ends I need to get with Lyft to get some bonus money from Lyft, then all of a sudden we got a race here, guys. Then we got we got some actual numbers we can work with. But this is all speculation right now, because it's just been turned back on. I'm still struggling to figure out this whole peak hour thing with Lyft and how realistic it is, what tier is the realistic tier, et cetera, et cetera. And then my body clock, I really need to reboot my body clock. So, if I'm going to be out late tonight, then there's no way I'm going to be able to get up at 5 in the morning to get back out on the road. So, or I just grind through and then take a longer nap in, maybe from 10 to 4 instead of 10 to 2. I don't know. I haven't figured out the logistics of this, but we got options now. We've got some options. So that's kind of where we stand. I'm just I'm on 83 North. I got to zip around because I got off the wrong damn exit, and I got onto 695 East instead of 695 West, which is not good. So, but it's interesting. It's kind of interesting, because that really changes everything. That really puts everything in a whole new realm at this point. Because if all of a sudden, now I have 2 companies with bonuses, and I can kind of work them both, then I've got an opportunity here to really maximize. To really, really maximize and make some money. I've just got to figure it out, because I know what I can do with Uber. I can definitely drive in DC every day, and I can grind out 115 to 130 trips a week to get whatever quest they give me. But I really like Lyft, and Lyft has been really good to me these past 4 weeks. So I don't want to just kick them to the curb. I also like the fact that I can cash out with Lyft, because this Uber thing with my stupid lease contract, even though they're taking my lease payment out of my bank account now and it's not coming out of the dashboard, I still can't cash out. It's just something in their contractual whatever. So having to wait for that money, especially when I'm kind of chasing my tail with living paycheck to paycheck at the moment financially, is frustrating. Whereas with Lyft, every night I just pull the money out and put it in my bank account. And it's there. That way I can pay the bills I need to pay as the days go by. So, options. I like options. I didn't like feeling painted in a corner. And that's kind of what I felt like for a while now. I felt like Uber had painted me in a corner, because really I was using Lyft more because I had to than because of anything. When you think about this past weekend, I was down in DC Friday night, Saturday night. Boost and Quest in DC on a Friday and Saturday night is almost a guarantee. I've never seen a weekend without it, but I wasn't qualifying for it. So I couldn't even do Uber trips on Friday night when the bar was getting wild, or Saturday night when the bar was getting wild, because I was getting regular rates. I wasn't even making, a boosted fare, like a 1.4 plus fare. And that's the crazy part about it, is that why would you work for regular rates when, other people are not? Or another company is giving you a promotion. So, that's the interesting puzzle that we all have to battle with as contractors, is that we are not employees. Uber and Lyft are in competition, and I'm going to work for the one that's treating me right. And right now, it's been Lyft. Uber's obviously turning in on my my promotions again, which is good. I'm glad they did. I really am. But where does this go from here? I don't know. It's kind of a brave new world. Now that I know both systems, I feel good about both systems' incentives. Now I have the puzzle of which one is going to be easier to achieve, better for me financially, and more practical. So I got some work to do. Wanted to give you guys that, bring you up to speed. So for a Monday, what I've got so far today is not bad. And realistically, if you want to call it 9 hours work, thereabouts, that's basically what it is. It's about 9 hours work for $150 because I took a nap in the middle of the day. I took a little snoozy. But the potential here is really greater because I'm fresh. I had a nap. I don't feel tired. So I can actually keep grinding after I go home, do some errands for my wife real quick, say hi to the kitties, grab a bite to eat, and then I can go back out on the road and do more Baltimore trips, either with Lyft or with Uber. That's a possibility. Or I can go to BWI and I can catch the late night flights. I don't know. I've just got options now, and I like that I have options. So I will let you guys know where this is going. A lot of you guys have been leaving me messages. I'm glad to hear that I'm not the only one frustrated. Not that I want you guys to be frustrated. I don't mean it that way. But, my world has been very chaotic lately. A lot of crazy shit has just gone down since October, really, of last year. Between my daughter and the stuff that was going on at school, and then what happened to her, and then just the holiday season, my mom coming up because of, and the drama that I had when I was, she was in my house and I was trying to take care of her. Now she's in a facility. I've had a lot of things distracting, a lot of noise outside of work, twisting my head up. And I'm trying to think of how I want to say this. It's not that I don't love all those people in my life. I do. I love them to death. My daughter, my son, my mom. My family is a good family. But I was talking to somebody about this the other day. In 2018, I'm very much the oddity. It's not the norm for somebody to be, sorry, just something weird sticking out of this guy's truck. It's not the norm for a single income household anymore in 2018. Most of the time it's people, both people in the couple are working, and you got multiple income streams or revenue streams coming in from either two spouses or whatever. And that's how a family becomes financially stable. And so I'm kind of doing it 1950s style, Stepford Wives style, and it's not easy. It's not easy being the guy that works the long hours and, puts in the crazy time to pay the bills. And also, I've got no fallback. If I don't produce, my family struggles that month. So, there's some added pressures, and you guys are going through all this same stuff. I know that you're feeling it just like I am. I know that you guys have financial headaches at home just like I do, and things going on in your lives that are your own, struggles and adversities. And I know that they're just as important and significant to you as the crap I'm dealing with is to me. So I'm not minimizing any of that. But it doesn't help when, on top of all that BS that we're fighting with, we're now in like the slow season for work. It's weird, but had that happened in the fall or the summer, spring, when Uber and Lyft were booming, I wouldn't feel so stressed because the money was flowing well. It's just that the winter season for ride sharing is, I think, the slow season. I have a good enough grasp of this. I feel like that I'm not missing something. I feel like what I'm doing works. I'm in the right parts of town at the right times of day. I know those little ripples in the pond, the trends of where to be and where not to be, and what to do and what not to do. And I mean, that's all basic level stuff, but I feel like I'm comfortable enough with that I can make assumptions based around those facts. And that's the reality here. But $120 with Lyft for 21 trips, that's a really low average, guys. And that tells me that rush hour is not about big trips. Now, maybe if you get these power driver bonuses, the math will help out. If I can hit the 141, which is the second tier, it's 80 trips. I think it's 80 trips. And it's 40 power peak hour trips. Peak hour trips, that's what they're called. So 40 peak hour trips divided into 140, all of a sudden you see that there's that's an extra roughly $3.50, $3.25 per trip. Makes a $6 trip a $9 trip, guys. I like those numbers. If you're only hitting the $65 bonus, which is 30 peak hour trips, it's $2 extra trip. Significantly different. So, working your pay plan, which I haven't talked about in a while, but I used to talk about it a lot more. Working your pay plan is ultimately important. Working your pay plan. Now, what that means is, and I was talking about this with somebody the other day on Facebook, Uber has this long pickup fee. So if I get somebody out in the suburbs that I got to drive 15, 20 minutes to pick them up, I want to do it on an Uber platform. I don't want to do it on a Lyft platform. Because on the Uber platform, I'm actually making money on the way there after the 10-minute mark. On the Lyft platform, I'm pro bono. I'm working for free until they get in the car. So, knowing the nuances and the differences between the two platforms, how they pay, what little quirky things they can do for you, and then the bonuses, the incentives, the power driver bonus, that little 4 consecutive trip thing that Lyft does sometimes in the morning and the evening. Get 4 trips within an hour and you get an extra $20 or whatever. Those things are great. Uber has things that are kind of similar to that. But Uber's Quest bonus is completely different than Lyft's power driver bonus. Two very different animals. Lyft says you can drive anywhere, but you got to drive when we tell you. Uber says you have to drive where we tell you, but you can drive any time of the day. So you think about that, 2 very different strategies about how you want to drive your business. If you're, let's say like me from last year and you only want to drive at night, then the Uber bonus is more viable because there's a more stronger chance you're going to get it. If you're like the me of today, who's trying to be flexible and adapt and look at driving in different times of the day to be efficient or effective, then the Lyft bonus is viable, because the tiers are set in such a way that they're attainable. I think they're attainable if you really drive consistently. I mean, if I can get 10, let's call it 10, I think it's 9, but let's call it 10 peak hour trips on a Monday. And if I can replicate that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there's my 40 trips. The 85 total trips is easy. The acceptance rate is easy. Like, those are gimmies. Those are gimmies. I've already got 21 trips in for the day with Lyft. I mean, it's a gimme to get the other two. It's just the peak hour number. That middle circle is the nightmare on the Lyft bonus structure. Whereas with Uber, they don't criteria you to death. They just say you got to drive in this area, which is DC Metro. So it's really, the 495 Beltway. You can stray a little bit outside of that 495 Beltway, but you can't stray too far. And you got to grind. You got to get a lot of trips. Like this week, Monday through Thursday, it's 2 tiers. It's like 30 for $35 and 70 trips for $75. So it's like $1 extra a trip. I mean, it's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. I don't know if I'll qualify for the Saturday-Sunday one, the Friday-Saturday-Sunday one. I assume I will if I do some Uber trips during the week. But again, I'm not expecting anything with Uber until I see consistency. So, now the weekend one is great. You do 60 trips for, $180. There's your $3, per trip average. So this is all math, guys, but this is our business, and $1 extra per trip is not sexy. $3 extra per trip is sexy. So we want to know which bonuses we're getting. We want to work the ones that we think are attainable and also profitable. And that's different for all of us, guys. I'm just kind of letting you inside my head for a minute, because that's the stuff I'm thinking about all the time. So I'm going to get off the video for a minute. I'm just going to log out. Wanted to give you guys some updates. A lot of important stuff I wanted to talk about. And I will let you guys know tomorrow kind of what's going on, what my strategy is, after how tonight shakes out. So I will catch you guys later. Thank you guys for everything. 9 subscribers. That's huge. So thank you guys so much. Hey guys, Mike from Baltimore Rides. The last part of my video. This is edited in. It is about 12:30 in the morning. I am officially done for Monday. I did go home. I did have some food with my kids, and then I popped back out on the road, and it actually worked out really well. I got a long ride from Owings Mills all the way down to downtown Baltimore. And the best part was the guy was just going down to get his wallet that he left at his buddy's house. And of course, we're talking the whole way down. And I said to him, I'm like, are you staying, or are you just turning around and going right back? And he's like, no, I'm going right back. I got to be at work in the morning. And I said, well, look, that's no problem. If you don't mind, I'll just wait outside. You run in, get your wallet, and then we'll just swing back around. So a $24 ride became a $49 ride. And that guy was happy as a pig in shit. I mean, he got exactly what he wanted. He didn't have to wait for another request. I was right there. He ran in, grabbed his wallet, ran back out, and I had him right back to where he lived. And really good conversation with the guy the whole ride down, the whole ride back. Really, really nice guy. So it didn't feel like work for me. It didn't feel awkward for him. Like, we just had a great conversation the whole time. So got that trip done, and I did a bunch of little trips. I ended up kind of bouncing around Owings Mills. Then I got over to Towson. I did some Uber Eats in Towson. I got 3 of them. I did get another Lyft ride, just a little one, and then I got a ride all the way up to Cockeysville, which really was not worth my time or effort because it was a Lyft ride. And it was like a 15-minute drive to pick up. So, me being me, I took it because it's Monday night and it's late, and A, he's not going to get another driver if I don't accept it, and B, I got nothing better to do, might as well make some money. So went up there, did that, but the nice thing is that now I'm heading home. So final numbers for the whole day combined, this morning, the afternoon, evening rush hour, and now my little last kind of few hours back on the road after dinner, just over $200. 169 with Lyft and 40 something with Uber, and then $10 in cash. So good day, good Monday, really good Monday. I don't feel like a zombie. I haven't been working like 18 hours straight. I mean, I had a nap during the day. I got to go home and have dinner with my kids. Like little breaks in the monotony like that make a day that's long feel not so long. And that's the good thing. And honestly, like I'm looking at it as, I can go home, I can probably get a good 4 or 5 hour snooze, get right back up and do the exact same thing tomorrow. No reason not to. I mean, if I can get my body in the habit of waking up early and getting this morning rush hour thing going, it might actually be good. And I have some numbers for you guys. I don't know why that I was saying 9. I have 13 peak hour trips and 24 total Lyft trips. So 13 out of 30, it's a third of the way there already, and it's only Monday. Now, no guarantee that I'll do 13 tomorrow, during peak hour, but if it works out strong and I can do 5 in the morning and 5 in the evening and get 10, then I'm 2/3 of the way there, and it's only Tuesday. And, then all of a sudden the second tier, that 140 tier, really becomes viable. And that's my real thought is if I can get to the 140 tier and I can work on an Uber Quest Friday, Saturday, Sunday in DC, then I might have a chance to make some really decent money this week. And that would be nice because I got bills to pay. So, there you have it. I'm positive today. Like, it just feels like maybe things are clicking back into place a little bit. And that's got me kind of in a positive mood, which is good because I haven't been in a positive mood lately. I've been kind of sour, just stress, nothing, just stress. But I feel like today's maybe a click towards moving in the right direction. So I'm going to sign off here, guys. I'll splice these all together and get them posted, and I'll be back on the road tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me, and we're going to do it all again tomorrow. See you guys later. Bye.